Hello, everyone, and welcome to our pre-conference live number one. So today it's very exciting because we are exactly a week away from the conference. So today we are January 14th at 4 p.m. Israel time, and our conference, the Global Leadership Conference, is happening on January 21st, which is next week, Sunday. It's starting at 2 p.m. So this week at the same time, we will be already for 2 hours in the conference. So first of all, let me tell you a little bit more about those pre-conference lives. So the reason why I'm doing those lives, and I'll come every day, hopefully at 4 p.m. But if not, you can always look at the replay in the group or on YouTube or on LinkedIn. This is to answer questions because we're getting questions on the conference, and I figured let's have a live Q&A for people that are still on the fence, because we have another another Zoom with people that already registered and have questions. And so those are going to be more like technical questions. Once I registered, what happens? But here I want to answer questions for people that are still on the fence, that are seeing all the posts. I'm sure you've seen all the posts that I'm posting everywhere, all the team is posting and everyone is sharing, because this is a big event, guys. This is a big event, very special, very unique. We've been working on this for a long time. And so I wanted to come in and give you more information on the conference itself. So first of all, what is happening during the conference? Because you have a landing page, and you have the speakers, and you have the structure of the event, but you might not have the actual agenda, because this is sent to people who register already. But guess what? I want to share it with you today. So let me see if I can share screens. Yes, I can. And let me see if I can open this. Yes, I can. And I want to go through what is going to happen during the conference. So it's saying that it's sharing. Here it is. Here we go. Here we go. So basically, the conference is divided in 4 parts. Okay, we're starting at 2 p.m. It's from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. So some of you might say, "Ooh, wow, this is a long time," but we have so much to cover, guys. Let me see if I scroll here. Yeah, it's working. Perfect. So as soon as you register, you'll get this schedule for the Global Leadership Conference, and you'll see how in the first part, I'm just looking here because it's difficult for me to see it here. In the first part, we will, of course, have our welcoming speech, and then we will welcome our first guest speaker, who is Rivka Rovitz. So to give you a little bit more info on Rivka, Rivka is the former chief of staff of Reuven Rivlin, which is the 12th, I think, or 14th, don't get me, Israeli president. And she's an amazing woman. She's a woman who has 12 children. Yes, she was chief of staff and had many children while she was working. And she is known because, and maybe she'll share the story, but I'm sharing also the link. There is YouTube's, and everyone speaks about it, on how the Pope actually bowed down to her, and even President POTUS, President of the United States, Biden, also bowed down to her. So it's an amazing woman who is basically standing really firm on her values, and is going to share with us how we as women, as Jewish women, need to also stand firm on our values. I'm very excited about that keynote speaker. And then we have an interview of Justine Swerling. If you know Justine, you are just in love with her. She's amazing. She's always available, always helping, always doing amazing things. And one of the things that we want to talk to her about in this one-on-one interview, it's not going to be a keynote speaker, it's going to be a one-on-one interview, is the perspective of the future with the UAE, Israel Business Council, and the Gulf Israel Women's Forum. She's actually the co-founder of this Women's Forum, and she is a great believer in how we can continue to be in contact with our neighbors, and how we can continue to talk to other Arab countries who are not our enemies. And I feel like this is a really interesting light at the end of the tunnel. to look at and to have this perspective. So we're going to have this one-on-one interview with Justine. And then we have a panel. The first part of the day is going to be basically panel interview, because we want to bring as many women as possible who are already leaders, who already have achieved a lot of things, and who are already, making changes and contributing to the world, and especially to the Jewish world. And so this panel is about Jewish activism. And Jewish activism is, the title of the panel is How to Make Our Voices Heard. And this is made of women that either were always activists and are still continuing to be, or became activists since October 7th with everything that we know is happening, they felt like their voice needed to be heard. And so we have Nava Schaffner, who is going to be the moderator of this panel. She's a strategic consultant for nonprofit. Nava is amazing. And then she will interview in the panel Zoe Vermont, Shoshana Keats-Jacobs, and Melinda Strauss. All of them, each of them, panel, moderator, guest, all of them, powerhouses, people that are spending so much time, effort, energy in influencing, in making their voices heard. You probably heard of Zoe. She's a huge influencer on LinkedIn, especially, where her voice has been really, really clear. I actually interviewed her on my podcast, and she's talking about how to defend. Well, actually, she says not defending Israel, but being against Hamas. And, she'll talk about all that. And she's been really amazing in the past few months. Shoshana Keats-Jacobs, I don't think that she needs any introductions, but she is very active in, images of women, in agunot, in all topics related for women in the Orthodox world. And of course, she's been also very, very vocal and active since October 7th. And Melinda Strauss is actually a Jewish content creator. She has millions of followers on Instagram, and she also has been really vocal about Israel. And she lives in the States, so she's going to talk also about anti-Semitism and everything that's happening there. Then we have a break, so you get to get up from Zoom. You'll be home, so that's easy, right? You'll be from the comfort of your home. You get a break, and then we have a one-on-one interview. Rachel Moore is going to interview Chantal Bertzberg from One Family. So One Family is a nonprofit that's helping people, especially during the war. And Rachel Moore is going to interview that with Chantal. And then we'll have another panel, which is called Jewish Nonprofit Changing the World One Step at a Time. And again, all those women and all those panels and interviews are here. I call this like a buffet, right? So that you listening to them are not just passively listening to them. You'll actually have things to do during the talks, because we'll want you to take notes. We'll want you to reflect, to see how this is resonating with you, to see where you see yourself, where you don't, how this is an inspiration for you, how this is in your realm of things, or how it's not totally. So you'll be listening actively, and all this is to bring us to the third part of the conference, which I'm going to talk about as soon as we get there, which is going to be about you making decisions. Okay, so we're not coming to this conference by listening passively and waiting for the speakers to finish and maybe be inspired, but that's it, right? Coming in from here, coming out from there, going back home or staying home, and so what? This famous so what? Those panels, and each person has been carefully chosen so that it can reflect something. You can reflect, or it can awaken something inside of you, or it can resonate with you, so that you can say, okay, that is interesting for me. I'm interested. How about going in that direction or that direction, right? So the other panel is Jewish Nonprofit Changing the World One Step at a Time. Now, again, not everyone has to go and open a nonprofit, but understanding why those women and how those women went ahead and decided to really dedicate their lives to a cause is, showing us a way of, bringing purpose and bringing meaning, that we can also get inspired, even if we don't have to open a nonprofit. Okay, no one is actually going to tell anyone what to do. It's just inspiration and opening doors, and making our brain think differently. That's what we want. Okay, so this panel is going to be moderated by Mayan Hoffman, who is the vice vice CEO of the Jerusalem Post. Mayan is amazing, and you've probably seen her on a lot of places moderating and interviewing, and she's very active. She's going to interview Olga Deutsch, Sarah Singer, Daphne Lazar, and Adrienne Gold Davis. All of these women are either have started a nonprofit or are involved in an existing nonprofit, and they're defending a cause. And we're going to talk about their personal journey on how they are, they have decided to get involved or to defend a cause, but also on their cause, like what is the cause that they're defending, and how is this changing the world, and what impact does it have? So it's going to be really amazing. And then we get to session 3. And session 3 is going to be very different. So again, you have a break. By the way, during the breaks, we'll do 2 things. We'll be able to network. We'll be able to, on the Zoom platform, where you'll be able to network with other women from all over the world. So that is really interesting. The exposure is going to be amazing. And we'll also have short dance breaks because we want to be able to move. We know that Zoom is a challenge for such a long time. So we'll have dance breaks, and we'll be able to raise the vibration together. So that is what's planned during the breaks. And when we come back, we'll have a talk about Jewish leadership. And Jewish leadership, it's interesting because to me, it's like different concepts coming together and aligning into this one thing that I really wanted the conference to be about. And Jewish leadership is basically bringing all the Jewish value, Jewish identity, Jewish history, Jewish people, everything we are connected to, and leadership, which is more like professional or more, vision oriented, or, people that, that follow other people, or that are inspired by other people, or that are influenced by other people in a good way of influencing, right? Being an influencer. And so bringing those 2 concepts together, for me, Jewish leadership is wow. It's like a boom. It's like a very powerful concept. And those 2 concepts basically brought together is bringing Judith Ben Chabo and Dana Sander-Muller, Judith Ben Chabo is a Jewish leadership expert. She's been with Momentum for many years, and Dana Sander-Muller is the director of leadership programs in Momentum. And so I've had the privilege to work with both of them for a lot of time before the conference to train the facilitators. We're going to talk about how we have facilitators to think about and brainstorm about what could be the best way for us in this conference to bring all the women that are going to be participants into a space where they can reflect inside of them, and they can, well, actually I say they, but it's you, right? Where you can reflect inside of yourself and really look inside for this place where you know that you are already a leader and you want to bring it out, okay? So we thought about this whole space. We called it Jewish Leadership Roundtables because after an introduction from Judith and Dana, you will go into roundtables, and you will basically be in small groups with one facilitator who has been trained to facilitate, to help you with a worksheet, with prompts, with some things that is going to make you come out after the whole first part where you saw all those amazing ladies inspiring and all those amazing journeys and stories, where you can, after you've taken things from the buffet and you're so full and so empowered, you can basically look inside, reflect, do some introspection, and come out in this small group with a brainstorming and understand, how you can bring that change, how you can have an impact, how you can be that leader. And again, it doesn't have to be a huge thing. It could be a personal leadership. It could be a leadership in your personal life, with your family, with your loved ones, in your everyday life, in your business. In volunteering, in anything. It could really be in anything, but it's really understanding where your unique brilliance and Jewish leadership meet and align so that you can really be the leader that you were born to be. I'm passionate about this, and I'm going to talk about it all the time. So I'm happy we're having those lives, but this is not the conference, right? The conference is when it happens. Now I'm talking about what will happen during the conference. And then you'll go into roundtables, and then you'll come back, we'll wrap up, and you'll have a very clear idea. Well, I'm not going to say very clear. You'll have a better idea and a clearer idea of how it is that you can probably, as women entrepreneurs, also use your business to have a better impact, because a lot of you already have a purpose-driven business. And so it's bringing the 2 into Jewish leadership and purpose-driven together so that you can actually, come and create something and have an impact. And then we get to the last part where you will have a lady that I adore personally. I'm sure that you do. Everyone that who knows her loves her. Fleur Hassan Nahum is going to be our keynote speaker. She is in the Jewish municipality. She's really amazing, and she's going to talk to us about leadership and women's role in the future of the Jewish people. Right, just that. And then we'll have another lady that I really adore. She's a personal friend for many years, Joelle Eckstein. She's going to be a keynote speaker. She wrote a book about how to turn pain into purpose, and she's going to inspire us to wrap up and to finish and to close this amazing conference that I can't wait to have you on, really. And then I'll have the honor and the pleasure to close this conference and to wrap up with you guys so that we see, where were you from the, point A when we started and at the end when we ended. I see someone says, sounds great. How so many fantastic women coming together? Yes, I don't know who you are. I hope you already have your ticket because the reason why I'm doing those lives is to give you an insider look behind the scene, if you may, so that you know more about what's happening, and you can decide if this is something that you would be interested in. So I'm going to stop the share, and basically this is the schedule that people get once they register. So you'll have that, but I just wanted to share it with you, and I also wanted to touch on a few other questions that I got. So the conference is not free. This conference, we've done a lot of things free over the years in the Global Network. The network has been free for 3 years. We've had an online summit that was free. We've had a lot of things that were free. But this conference is basically our first fundraising campaign of the nonprofit. And so the donation for the ticket is $100. And if you feel that you have been touched or impacted by the war, and it could be even if you're not in Israel, but you feel like this whole war has impacted you, you can also donate $75, and you will have access to the conference with this donation. Now, people ask me, where is this donation going? And it's a very good question, because first of all, there are two things. We want to allow every woman who feels that they belong in this conference to come and be with us. And that's why we're opening a scholarship fund. And this scholarship fund will help us fund tickets for women who cannot afford it. And so when you're donating $100, not only are you securing your space and are you making sure that you're coming, but you're also allowing another woman who doesn't have the financial means, who has been really impacted by the war, to pay less. And so that is something that's really important for us. But also, this is, like I said, our first fundraising campaign. And so we want to do amazing things with this network, right? We want to organize retreats, and we want to organize trips to Israel, and we have a leadership program coming up, and we will tell you all about it, here and there in the conference, so that you can join if you're interested, if this is resonating. And we need we have a team today, I think at least 10, 15 people that are volunteering their time for this conference to happen, and for every woman to be able to be in this nonprofit and to be able to gain from this. But we want to start paying people for what they do, because this is how we can really assure that we are going to be sustainable, right? Because people can volunteer for one event, but then we need to become a professional nonprofit and be able to hire people so that we can create more events, more experience, more spaces, more connections, more content, more leadership, more of so much. So that's what you're donating to. If you feel that the world needs strong women who are connected to their leadership, who are also very proud to be Jewish, who are connected to Israel, who know that connecting all of those points together can make them very powerful entrepreneurs and very successful entrepreneurs. I'm a business mentor by profession, and I know that alignment is the best strategy. And so if you believe in that, if you want to contribute to a sisterhood of women who are going to really become forces of nature, or already forces of nature, but are going to together have such a huge impact and make such big changes and have a paradigm shift in leadership for women, then your donation is in the right place. And don't forget that this is tax deductible. So you get a receipt. As soon as you made the donation, you'll get a receipt. And if you don't, be in touch with me and my team, and we will make sure to check that. But everyone has been receiving a tax deductible receipt, and you'll get an invitation to join. And and you'll be on the journey with us. We have already so many women in the whole network. We have 1,700 women coming from more than 20 countries. And for this conference, we're counting 60 women who are with us and who have all donated and all want to be part of this movement. So this was the first live. We did a deep dive into, and we went deep. We did a deep dive and we went deep into the schedule of the conference. I wanted you to really know what was going to happen. And what we'll do is tomorrow we'll speak about the Zoom event platform, because it's a really exciting platform that I'm so excited. Thank you, Denise. Denise Lahat is our great help and support. Without her, we couldn't do it on Zoom events platform. So thank you so much. She's our sponsor for this. And every day I'll show you a different aspect of the conference, because I want you to see that this is a huge conference that we have been putting so much work into, and so much thoughts and so much energy and so much positive energy, that we want all the women that feel that it resonates with them to actually come to the conference. So if you are on the fence, I'll put the link in the chat. You just come, and you make sure that you come with an open mind, and you come with an open heart, and we're ready to change the world together. Thank you so much, and see you tomorrow for our second pre-conference live. Bye for now.